All right. Welcome, everybody. My name is Mila. Tonight, we have exciting speakers with David Peter, and he's at Health Eagle Show. So, David, over to you
All right.
for
Well,
the
thank you,
presentation.
Mila. I'm happy to be here. This here's your Happy Health Eagle, and we're in Anchorage, Alaska today. We've been meeting with a lot of our USANA family up here, and we'll be happy to talk about that later with our group. The fun things that we have today are we're going to talk about our storytelling and the importance of storytelling. So let's go to storytelling. All right, Mila, we are not in storytelling. There we go. I just had to flick a switch. And somehow I need to move all of this out of the way. Okay. All right. So we're going to talk about the importance of your story, and that is having a story that you can tell that is about your journey in nutrition. All right. And once again, the Health Eagle Show is a weekly presentation of information relating to great nutrition, appropriate exercise, and healthy lifestyles. Our goal is to help you optimize longevity by improving your health and happiness, and to assist in creating the healthiest family on earth. And the reason why we do this is because too many people die too long and live too short, and we are trying to change that paradigm. The importance of telling your story is that communicating clearly and with intention brings value to you and your organization and the people with whom you interact. The idea is how do you communicate effectively and persuasively with other people? So a well-told story can be extremely powerful. It captures the attention, inspires others, and can even lead to action on the part of the person listening to the story. And persuasion is a centerpiece of all business activity. Customers must be convinced to buy your company's products and or services. The employees and colleagues go along with the strategic plan or other reorganization. So the importance of this is that if you can convey a story, you can be more persuasive, more entertaining, and easier to listen to. And if we think about it, one of the great storytellers of history is Ronald Reagan, and he was able to get himself elected to the presidency of the United States twice by telling stories. And oftentimes the stories were jokes as well. So a very entertaining individual. So this persuasion of business activities, customers must be convinced to buy your products and services. We need to better incorporate storytelling into our communications to foster engagement with and appreciation of our USANA products. Because selling your story is critical to selling your products. And product sales pay the bills, right? The only way you make money in USANA is by selling products. Right? People have to buy the products, and what we need to do is we need to convince them that it is in their best interest. And mostly we do that through our storytelling, which is normally best done by telling our own story and having a story to tell. All right, so developing your USANA story and presenting, basically the objective is to learn how to present to others and how to effectively tell your USANA story. And our goals are to develop your USANA story, to learn how to tell your story, and to tell your story to others every day. And that will gain you an advantage in your USANA business. So developing your USANA story, the best way to start a presentation is to tell your USANA story. The reason you choose to partner and the reason why you have chosen to partner with USANA. So to have a story, you need a why, and why did you become a USANA associate? Okay, think about that. Why did you become a USANA associate, and what are you trying to accomplish? Okay. Now, being a product of the products makes storytelling easy. The reason why it makes it easy is because you're able to have enthusiasm about your own story, right? And enthusiasm builds the story. It's a knowledge of the fastest ways to impress others, and customers value passion, okay? Passion in your story. And having that passion comes from having your own story. And this storytelling, if it's your own story, you build credibility and you understand your products and fit into their lifestyles and become more passionate about them. To sell the products, understanding the products, to sell, you can tell them to sell more effectively. And if you have a personal story about a particular product, it is a lot easier to talk about that product. Now, you've heard my stories many times about Percosa and how much Percosa has helped me over the years that I've been with USANA. So I'm very, very passionate about it. It becomes very, very easy to talk about. So provide that support, knowing your products and know how to help you provide the accurate and helpful support. All right. And also your storytelling helps you build trust with your listeners, with your prospects, with your clients. You're going to take that product knowledge and that knowledge about those products and your behavior and help other people become part of your story. Now, my story essentially is about my desire not to die. And my story ends up, with me being this guy that you see in front of you, full of enthusiasm, full of life, and full of energy. And that was not the person I was when I was introduced to USANA. I was a dying retired senior military leader and a former CEO with multiple injuries and maladies, right? Illnesses, right? I was on 10 different degenerative disease medications. I was 230 pounds. Can you imagine, let's see if we can get a little bit better picture here. Tilt this camera just a little bit. I was a big old fat guy. All right. I was a big old fat guy. It was hard for me to get around. I was really tired all the time. I had a lot of stress because of the jobs that I was doing. I had to go and I had degenerative disc disease in the lower lumbar and sciatic vertebrae. I'd had surgery, discectomy in my neck. I had fibromyalgia, myofascial pain syndrome, and trigger points. I was in a lot of pain all the time. Every move that I made was painful. I had to go to the therapy every week to get that deep tissue massage just to stay vertical. I had to go to the doctor every week in order to get tested so I could get prescribed my pain medications, which were significant. And the other medications was sleep apnea, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all of these things that they were given out. But finally, around 2015, I'd had a heart incident. Now, it was probably a heart attack, but I didn't get to the hospital quick enough for them to test the enzymes to prove that I'd had a heart attack. So we just call it a heart incident. But basically, I got to see a cardiologist at the military medical facility, and the doc and I got to develop a relationship. But pretty much he told me, he says, "Forks before knives, Dave, forks before knives." And I says, "What does that mean?" He says, "You learn to eat better, or I'm going to have to cut on you." And I was already 57 years old. And my gosh, my dad had his first heart attack at 56 and he died at 63. I did not want to follow in his footsteps. plus the fact that I just met this wonderful woman and I wanted to stay alive and enjoy being with her. Okay. So I had this goal. So I go and my nutrition struggle, however, was that, all right, I'm going to go out and I'm going to eat better. Now, how do you do that? Well, you study, you research, you look at what's available, and then you go and get it, and you try to get the right combinations of things in order to put things together. And every Sunday watching football, I was doing the old pill bottle thing, filling up pill bottles to last the whole week because I just wanted to do it and have it ready for me to just pop it and go. Because I was still working and working hard, and in pain every day. But my wife, Jishi, she introduced me to USANA, but being a scientist and an engineer, was very skeptical of that. So I needed proof. So I went and read the comparative guide to nutritional supplements, and I read all of the information about how the scientists put together the products and the high quality, high potency, and high accuracy in formulations. And I says, okay, why not? Why not? So I went and I ordered my first health pack. And in my first 3 weeks, I didn't need my Prilosec anymore. My acid reflux was not there in 3 weeks. And I'm going, holy mackerel, I've been on Prilosec for 20 years. And Prilosec was killing my digestive system, causing a lot of other problems because it was repressing the acid, which was necessary to break down the food. But at the same time, I was not having all of that hot gas, stomach irritation, and sickness associated with acid reflux. So yeah, it was great, but I didn't need it anymore. Holy macro. And I go, okay. So I'm going to do that. And then I was working out in the West Pacific Ocean, Southwest Asia area. And I tore my bicipital tendon working out on this remote island. So I finally get myself back to the military medical facility at Elmendorf in Anchorage, and I'm being treated by the orthopedic surgeon, and he says, okay, let's go get an x-ray. And we get an x-ray, and he looks at the x-ray and goes, holy crap, let's go get an MRI. And you're in trouble when that happens. So go out to the MRI, and he says, okay, all right, you've done a really good job on this. And I go, okay. And he says, you've torn your bicipital tendon, which holds the front arm and controls this action here. So it ties into the muscle across here and then ties back here. So he says, we're going to have to, and he said also that when the bicipital tendon came free of the forearm, it took bone with it. So I had a fracture at the same time. So that was, all very interesting. And so he says, we're going to have to cut you open from here to here. We're going to have to move it around. We're going to have to put a hole through here, through this forearm bone. We're going to have to stuff your tendon right back in there. We're going to have to put a button on it, tie it back together, and try to put it together so we don't hurt you. Okay. And I says, well, I'm already 57 years old, or in that time, 58 years old. And I'm going, all right, what if we do not have it done? And I'd already been on USANA, and I'd seen what it done for my stomach already. And I'm going, what if we just don't do it? And I go with the intelligence technology of nourish, protect, and renew. And sure enough, that's what I did. I said, okay, we're not going to do that. We're going to go with nutrition. And in 1 month, I wasn't in pain anymore. In 2 months, I had full flexibility. And in 8 months, I was able to have all my strength. And I'll tell you a little about that in just a little bit. Also, at that same time, taking the products and also started taking the Vision X products from USANA, I was able to improve my eyesight. Now, I can't tell you that USANA cures, prevents, or in any way, fixes things. All right, that I can't tell you, but I can tell you what I experienced, and that's what I experienced. My eyesight started getting better, and what I did about it was I went down to Salt Lake City and I spoke with the scientists. I got to know them pretty well, and we chatted for a while, and I got to know that the ingredients of the Asana Vision X, and learned that it's designed to prevent macular degeneration, which is the leading cause of blindness in the United States. And I says, okay, but my eyesight's getting better. Well, it's not supposed to do that, but my eyesight was getting better. So I used to have to wear bifocals. I used to have to wear special glasses for reading my computer. I had special glasses for driving at night. I had special glasses for my fishing, and because you want the polarized lenses and so forth on your sunglasses. So the benefit is I stopped needing the glasses to read the computer. So they sat, I would take them off because my eyes were irritated, and I'd tuck them off and set them to the side of the computer. And more, that's where they stayed. And then finally, that's where they stayed. And then finally, the glasses that I needed to drive at night in order to help me with the glare of the oncoming cars, I didn't need that anymore. And then I get my eyes tested, and I don't need the bifocals anymore. So I go to single lenses, and then finally to no lenses. And then twice over the course of the last 8 years, I got a CDL for driving school buses without lenses. And that's saying a lot. So right now, no corrective lenses in these eyes. And then at the same time, I lost 60 pounds. So in addition to, I finally doing the health pack, right? I get on the Vision X, I get on the probiotic, I get on the protein shakes, and my energy goes up, my activity level changes. So for instance, instead of taking elevators, I was always walking. I was parking my car further away from the building, so I'd have to walk some more. You know what? And I was losing 3 to 4 pounds a week. And in 8 months, I lost 60 pounds. And I have not put it back on because I've maintained my USANA regimen. Shakes in the mornings, health pack morning and night, probiotics every other day, and staying up with my my optimizers, and it's working out great. And then what I wanted to say is that about 8 months into being a PC, I learned about the tax benefits of being in business myself. And in my tax bracket, it was going to be really, really helpful. And so I made the decision to become an associate, and I never looked back since then. And I have accomplished all that. As a matter of fact, in November, it's the 8th month, right? It says lead up to the 8th month. I had was moving from a condo in the lower part of Eagle River, Alaska, to a house on a mountainside in the lower hillside area, which was about 1,800 feet up and was built into the mountain and had a staircase in. It was really, really, really nice house. And what I would do was I would pack up at night and boxes and so forth, and I put them in my van. I had a nice Astro minivan with the 4-wheel drive, which would allow me to get up the mountain. And then I would go to work the next morning. And then after work, I would go and drive the truck up the mountain and drop off whatever I'd packed up that day. And then I'd come back and I'd pack up the next day. And I would do that. I did that for 28 days, and I moved my entire household, books and all. And I did it with my arms. And if you remember, I had that, did not have that tendon repaired artificially through surgery. I was able to lift and have full strength in my arms and do that. So I was really happy with that, and with the tax advantages, and then started spreading the word. So best component of this is I'm so excited about USANA products because they've had real impact in my life and how they have benefited me. And I try to help as many people as I know understand that high quality, high potency, and high purity nutrition that is based upon scientific formulations that do exactly what it's intended to do work. And the best way to do that and to get that product is to buy USANA products. And so it brings us to this. What I want to do is I'm going to move that out of the way. And what I want to do is go to this video. And we're going to talk about how to build and sell your story. Okay. Escape. That's what I want. Okay. And then we'll go to here. Okay. Now we need to share screen again.
Alrighty, I think we're going to get started. Hopefully you can just see my slides and not all the notes that are on it. I'm just going to unplug.
Okay.
We'll be able to testify just
I'm sorry. Hang on just for a minute. Why did it change? Okay. Back over to here. Grab that. Let's see. We need to copy that. And we need to go over here to put this out of the way over here. There we go. All right. Now we need to go back to.
You may have heard the old adage, facts tell and stories tell.
Okay. Now I need to go back and put that on share. Oh, and Mila?
Yes.
Okay, let's see. What I need to do is make sure I'm sharing computer sounds. Okay, that's what I want to do. So we're going to do that. That's good. Now, can you hear all right?
您可能听过这句古老的谚语：“只说事实，不如用故事，更能打动人心。”这句话千真万确，社群媒体创造了最佳的沟通机会。
Holy mackerel.
But that's a Chinese style.
Yes, it is the Chinese one. Now I can do that since we're mostly all online here is Chinese, but I really didn't want to do that. I wanted the English version, and I don't know why I don't have the English version now. I had it before, and all I needed to
让人们透过您所分享的 USANA 故事，更加了解 USANA 产品的好处。
Okay. I want that copy. Let's go to here. Paste. Go there.
When is the last time someone complimented you on your skin? I've been getting a lot of compliments on my skin recently on how you.
There. Let's see if we get English.
You may have heard the old adage.
Okay, so now we've got English, and we're going to go back over here to share. Share that screen. Share there. Right, and we'll go to there.
Facts tell and stories sell. Well, it's never been more true.
Social media has created the ultimate opportunity for people to engage with your USANA story, and through you, benefit from USANA's products. Social media enables you to reach huge audiences in an authentic way. It takes time to learn the ropes, but with a little practice, using social media to grow your USANA business can become a natural, fun, and efficient part of your routine. In order to get social media working for you, there are 4 things you need to take action on: brand, stories, platform, and engagement. It's actually pretty easy to go pro in each of these areas, so pay attention. Your personal brand will guide everything you do on social media. It's a combination of what you're offering and how it looks and feels. Remember that what you're offering is more than USANA's products and opportunity. It's you. Your personality, your knowledge, your experiences, your values, your sense of humor. Your brand will attract a specific audience, and they'll come to appreciate the consistency of what you share and how you share it. Here's what you need to do to create your personal brand. First, explore. Think about your favorite brands, whether they're companies, groups, or individuals you follow. Check out their websites and social media pages. What do they stand for? What do they offer? Who do they offer it to? What do they look like? Next, choose your own core values and branding pillars. Naming your core values, personal attributes that are especially important to you, will help you define your brand. Pick 3 or 4. Your branding pillars represent what you want to offer to others. Pick 3 or 4 and write them down as well. Now that you've decided on your core values and branding pillars, it's time to craft your brand statement. Your brand statement is a 1 or 2 line summary of who you are and what you have to offer. It's your elevator pitch. Here are some examples.
As a mother of 3 committed to lifelong health, I offer empowerment and products that help take the crazy out of motherhood and replace it with joy.
I'm a 20-something who believes in being fit and smart, and not paying someone else for permission to live my dreams. I found the business and products that can change the world one person at a time.
I'm a fitness fanatic with a serious case of wanderlust. I aspire to obtain optimal health on the go and provide a constant reminder that if you feel good, you can conquer the world.
Finally, develop a look for your brand. Social media is visual, and strong brands have a clear visual identity. This begins with colors and photography. Go online and grab images that make you feel inspired and excited about your brand. You don't need to be an expert. Start by just dragging and dropping from Google onto your desktop, and from there, right into a Word document. Pinterest makes it easy to put together mood boards. Or you can go old school and cut up magazines to make a collage. As you create your social media profiles and create posts, which we'll talk about in just a second, just be sure to stay true to the look of your brand. It will take time to create imagery that matches your brand, but it's worth it. Soon, you'll be an artiste with a cell phone camera. When you're ready, you can take things to the next level by working with a professional photographer in your area. A picture or a short video can be worth 1,000 words or 1,000 engagements on social media. The content you share, words, pictures, and videos, are your stories. The first thing to realize is that you have stories to tell. A product testimonial, that's a story. An experience you had which is relevant to your audience, that's a story. A quote or a link from an expert with some commentary from you, that's a story. A selfie is a story too. If you keep your personal brand in mind, it will be easier to craft stories that will consistently add value to your audience. That involves taking the time to understand them and what they need. And don't panic. On social media, most stories are very short. Rarely will you have more than a few lines of text in any single post. Here are some questions that can help you identify great stories already inside and around you. What inspired you to start your adventure with USANA? What's a goal you have in common with your potential customers? Is there a challenge you overcame this week? Did you take a picture recently that you would want to share? What do you wish you knew a year ago? What are some of your favorite books and movies, and why? Is there a part of the USANA lifestyle you're particularly enjoying right now? One question you can always ask is, what might educate, inspire, or entertain your audience? A story will have more impact if it hooks your audience's senses. Strong visuals are an obvious way to do this. Use pictures and videos as much as possible. And of course, you can use words to set the stage of who, what, where, when, and why. You can even ask a question. Stories are the lifeblood of your social media presence, and you have great stories. Don't spend forever perfecting something before you share it. Because remember, it's your brand, which means that it's the perfect place for you to share your stories. The place where you share your stories and interact with friends and potential customers is your platform. Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram, and WeChat are just a few of the many social media platforms out there. It can be overwhelming to try and have a presence on all of them, so just choose one or two to get really good at. Where are your potential customers most likely to be spending their time? The answer to that question is a great indicator of which platforms to focus on. Let's say you're really into skincare and you love Celavive. Here's how you might tell stories about that on different platforms. On Instagram, you could share an epic picture of you wearing a mask. On Twitter, you could kick off a conversation about using masks with a funny note. On YouTube, you might upload how-to videos or testimonials that show off the results. On LinkedIn, you could tout your skills as an expert in skincare and invite other pros to join your team. On Facebook, you can do any of these things as long as they're consistent with your brand. As you dig deeper into your preferred social media platforms, you'll discover that each has special tools that can benefit you. For example, Facebook offers a powerful suite of tools that tell you about your audience and let you advertise directly to specific groups. Twitter's hashtags are a quick and easy way to join conversations about common topics. Instagram stories engage audiences in fun visual experiences, like photos and videos of you at a USANA event. Your social media platform is the free tool that can connect you to an almost unlimited number of people who can benefit from your stories. It's the tool that makes sharing and networking so easy, which is the heart of direct selling. And the best thing? For your customers, a life-changing product purchase is literally a couple clicks away from your platform. So, you've created a personal brand. You know how to tell stories. You've picked a social media platform. Now it's time to engage. Engaging on social media is strategically telling stories and interacting with others in a way that builds your audience and adds value to their lives. What does all that mean? It means that you can post your stories consistently, keep them relevant, have conversations, and extend invitations at the right times. This is the foundation for building trust and winning customers online, because people buy from people they trust. But here's the rule. For every 7 posts, 2 of them should be your own content. These are your own pictures, videos, and words. 4 of them should be reposts of third-party content. These are other people's stories that you link, copy, or paste. You credit them and say why it's relevant to you. 1 of them should focus on a USANA product. Share experiences and benefits, of course keeping in line with USANA's ethics guidelines. You can add beautiful pictures from Share USANA or snap a photo of your own. When interest is high, share the new shopping cart selling link. That's the 7-post rule. 2 + 4 + 1. It's a winning formula that will add value and build trust. Get yourself on a schedule. You don't need to create your content just before you share it. You could create all your stories one day each week and then plan out when to post. Engagement happens when people respond to your post, and you respond back. They might even share your story with their audience. #organic growth. Spread the love and engage with other people's stories. Be your awesome self and have fun. Consistency, not the amount of time you spend, is key. There's no reason social media needs to take over your life. Finally, analyze the success of your engagement on social media. Ask yourself, what kind of stories seem to be attracting the most interest? What time of day works best for your audience? Are you being consistent with your brand? What social media tips and tricks can you learn from others? What specific goals could you set to increase engagement next month? As with anything in your USANA business, it will take consistent effort and a little trial and error to maximize your time on social media. But soon, you can be regularly, strategically engaging with many people who are in search of the USANA lifestyle you have to offer. Imagine trying to build a USANA business without a phone. Today, social media is just as important. People of all ages, from all walks of life, are finding huge success with the 4 pillars of social media: brand, stories, platform, engagement. Now that you've watched this video, watch it again. There's a lot of info here, and it will help you to dive in and become a social media pro. Soon, it will be a natural part of your business and an authentic expression of you. You will add value to many lives and to your USANA business. #LiveUSANA.
Well, there we have it. And we're going to stop sharing. Stop sharing. Stop. Okay, we're going to go back here. We're going to share back to there. And we're going to go here. Super. So we've seen that. And then that brings us to the end of today's presentation from the Health Eagle. I'm going to turn it back on over to you, Mila, and we can have our discussions.
Wow, good job. That's amazing contents. All right, let me pause on the video.